I want to talk about this like where are people coming from that are coming to
What
New
I was
Mexico?
just going to
Okay,
ask
great.
you.
I've got that cross-market demand too. We'll look at that. But this was the slide from Area, and what they're saying is the number 1 is Phoenix, 2 is Denver, 3 is Los Angeles, 4 is Dallas, 5 is Houston, 6 is Las Vegas, Nevada, 7 is El Paso, 8 is Colorado Springs, 9 San Antonio, and 10 is San Diego. Welcome to Albuquerque Real Estate Talk, episode 594. I had to look at my notes. I couldn't remember. I knew we were coming up on 600. I just didn't know where we were. It's Tego and Tracy Venturi with the Venturi Group of Real Broker here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, talking about what's going on with real estate. I think we had a good slate of topics here today, Tracy. If somebody wants to get a hold of us, how do they do that?
Sure. Give us a ring, 505-448-8888. That's the quickest and easiest way. But you can also email us or get on our website. Send us a note through there.
So I want to talk about this. We'll get to this. It's a new program from Housing New Mexico for home buyers. Very cool program. We'll get to that.
We're going to talk about a lot of fun things. So one of them, a story that came through that Sam and I were talking about when we banter back and forth, was somebody was planning to retire. There was a big story that was out. Someone was planning to retire in the Phoenix area from the Great White North, and ended up in New Mexico and wrote all the reasons why New Mexico topped the charts for them and how much they love it now. I know. But we also have some great stats.
Let's just start with some simple stats. I want to pull this up.
A quick look.
So every month, Zillow puts out their estimated home values across the entire country, every single zip code in the country, counties and so on. I like to break it down by county just so I can get a pretty good set. But the thing that was interesting to me was, how New Mexico, our 3 counties in particular, compares to the United States. So in Sandoval County, the typical home value is $377,346. Now that is the highest in our metro in Sandoval County.
Right.
And then it's Bernalillo County at $352,000. And then it's Valencia County at $319,000. The thing that's interesting, New Mexico overall, typical value is also about $320,000.
Versus the full United States,
which is $371,757. $371,757. That's the U.S. Every home in the United States.
They value every home, add them all up, divide it out, and the average is $371,757. But in New Mexico, $319,979, which is considerably less.
Yeah, the thing was interesting. I mean, Valencia County had a just over 3% increase in home values, where Sandoval County had a just shy of 1% increase in home values. So, I think it's a price point question, Tracy. I mean, we talk about home affordability all the time. It's just more affordable in Valencia County for sure. And, we know there's a lot of construction going on both in Rio Rancho and Valencia County, but the price points are quite a bit different. So
Tego, I'm going to use that as a segue to this next section of our show, which is Albuquerque's economy growing and how? So the area, it's called AREA, the Albuquerque Regional Economic Alliance. They're trying to attract new employers, right? That's a big job of what they do. So Tego, what kind of jobs and industries is AREA, Albuquerque Regional Economic Alliance, trying to bring here?
I have a slide deck for this.
Oh, I didn't know that. Look at that.
So I gave you the notes here because I went to a presentation and it was one of the representatives from AREA that, does the economic development work for our area. And
many areas, but
keep
going.
I know. But it was interesting because I'm like going, this really relates to housing, which is what we talk about. And what's going on with the economy matters a lot for both buyers, sellers, homeowners, everything.
So if you're not watching us online and you're just listening to us, tell us what type of industries they're looking to attract.
Yeah, and this has been going on a long time in the area, but a lot of the attraction is for more high tech type things. Now, when we say high tech, we're not talking like Silicon Valley software people, right? We're talking like quantum systems, whatever that is, advanced technologies, advanced energy technologies, excuse me. So that's, well, energy generation, space, aerospace, defense, that's also been something big, bioscience. And so they're more, focused.
Professional and technical.
Growing
Resources,
growing that
development.
base, and it's continued to grow. And the thing that's good about those is many times those are higher paying jobs, better paying jobs than some of the other type stuff that you might be able to recruit in.
Sure. And we have great schools, good colleges training people, but it does bring a lot of relocation, right? So what could that mean for the Albuquerque homeowners and home buyers?
Well, I think the thing to take away there is that there's always this balance is you don't want this flood of people coming in that drive prices up faster than they should be, right?
Like people who already have the money,
right?
Not people new college graduates or anything.
Correct. So it's the balance of do we have enough homes to support people that want to come here and start a business or grow a business? You have to have the things that these people look for that are looking to build a company or relocate a company is the housing affordable? Check, we've got that covered.
How's the transportation?
Right? We've got, in fact, there's a slide here. I'll show it to you. Transportation. The thing that's really unique about Albuquerque is there's 1 million people between Santa Fe, Albuquerque, basically the whole central New Mexico, but commute-wise is 60 minutes. You can get all the way from Albuquerque all the way down to Los Lunas, Santa Fe, Belen,
Moriarty.
There's not a whole lot of areas in kind of the core Albuquerque area that's more than a 20-minute commute.
Right.
So commute-wise, we're in really good shape.
Yeah. So for existing homeowners, stronger employment often leads to wage growth. It brings in people for housing, keeps prices maybe on the rise versus a declining climate.
Yeah, I was going to show this slide here in a sec, but I think we need economic stability. And I think people, forget it's like, okay, yes, we need, we don't want to have this flood of people. We don't want prices running out of control. We don't want so much growth that we don't have the supply to take care of those people, but yet we need economic stability, right?
Right.
And having solid future industries is a big deal, and I think they're doing a really good job focusing on that.
Yeah, for sure. So we know some areas like Rio Rancho, Los Lunas have really done a great job bringing in employers, and we see the housing boom in Los Lunas west of I-25, right? And there's a lot of things still going on there. We were down there the other day, and holy moly, I thought they were done building.
Yeah.
But no.
Nope,
There's
lots
cranes,
going on in
cranes
Los Lunas.
everywhere.
Yeah, I want to talk about this like where are people coming from that are coming to
What
New
I was
Mexico?
just going to
Okay,
ask
great.
you.
I've got that cross-market demand too. We'll look at that. But this was the slide from area, and what they're saying is the number 1 is Phoenix, 2 is Denver, 3 is Los Angeles, 4 is Dallas, 5 is Houston, 6 is Las Vegas, Nevada, 7 is El Paso, 8 is Colorado Springs, 9 San Antonio, and 10 is San Diego. So it's
very regional.
Yeah, very
regional. Wow.
And then if we look at, let me go to a different.
It's interesting. Phoenix was number 1.
Yeah. Well, so this, let me show you this one. So Realtor.com does a cross-market demand.
Right.
And what they're looking at, this, they're looking at what people are looking at online.
Right. Where they are at where they're sitting at a phone or laptop and where they're actually looking for property.
So if you look at their metro level trends and they're saying, okay, views to the metro, so from other places to Albuquerque, where are they? Number 1 is the Phoenix metro. And they're saying about 20% of all the views come from that market. That's huge.
That's huge. Wow. And number 2, it says Denver, 16%. That's huge too.
And what's interesting about that, both the Phoenix metro and the Denver metro are more expensive than Albuquerque.
Right. Number 3 is Santa Fe, and it's looking in Albuquerque. Interesting.
Yeah, and then And then the Dallas, metro area, which is huge, and then the LA metro area, which is huge. But those are small, 5%, 4%. And then we've got a little bit from Cruces, no surprise there. And then Chicago, Washington, Arlington,
and then
very
back to
small
New
number,
Mexico,
back to
Farmington.
New Mexico. So
But
yeah,
interesting. I remember a few years ago we talked about this on our radio show, Tego, and it was like the New Jersey, New York area was number 1, and right now it was number 10. You got off the slide, but it was number 10. It was number 1 a few years back.
So anyway, I'm really thrilled with the work that area is doing for economic development in Albuquerque. We need it. I mean, it's every community has it, but we do need that economic stability for homeowners, home buyers.
Yeah, for sure.
sure.
Good.
Yeah.
So Tego, we were talking in our team meeting this week about a Housing New Mexico lending program that our listeners need to know about.
Yep, for sure. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here. So Housing New Mexico, also known as MFA, Mortgage Finance Authority, or NMFA.
It's the down payment assistance program from the state. That's the easy way to say it.
Yeah, so they do different programs to help with home buying. They actually do like grants for property development. They've got a lot of different programs, but in our world, it's mostly the home buying program. But they just came out with this new one called New Home Advantage Rate, and
New Home Rate Advantage Program.
New Home Rate Advantage. And so what this is, if you are a buyer, I believe it's just for first-time home buyers. I do believe, for first-time home buyers, and you're buying a new construction home. They have $5 million, and what they're going to do is contribute to reduce your mortgage rate by 1%, which is substantial.
It could be huge because the Mortgage Finance Authority has a set rate right now, and it depends on your circumstances, of course, and the type of loan, but this could get you into the low 5s. Right?
It could.
Yeah. So it's a great program if you're thinking of buying new and you're a first-time home buyer, which means you haven't owned a home in 3 years, right? Not necessarily that you've never owned a home.
That's correct. Yeah,
right?
good. The definition of what is a first-time home buyer.
And I think that the purchase price, based on your income, you still have to have a cap on how much your household can make. But the purchase price is up into $500 and some thousand dollars, depending on your income and your credit.
I think it's great because it gets people thinking about new construction that maybe that wasn't on their radar. But you think about it, Tracy. I mean, you can buy a new home, just over $300,000 in Los Lunas.
They're more like $350 these days.
Well,
$339, $340.
It's that old saying, like, drive till you qualify, right? So, you can go down to Berlin and you're going to be closer to $300.
Yeah. So
But if you're in Rio Rancho in some of those areas,
$375.
it's $375, $400, $450. Yeah.
You can get in for $375 with a lot of incentives from the builders also.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
what I think this is about, and I just was kind of wondering about this program, and I thought it's like encouraging first-time buyers to get a brand new home. I mean, what's the joy and beauty, of course, of getting a brand new home? But they're thinking, I think, bigger picture is when you buy a house that's 50 years old and you're the first-time buyer, pretty much you're normally, if you're using the down payment assistance program, you're on a limited income. And if something breaks, it's traumatic. It's like when your car breaks down and you have that unexpected bill. Same with the house. And I think part of the thing about incentivizing new construction is probably the roof, the mechanicals, the heating, the cooling, the exterior, all those expensive things are going to be good for the next 10, 15 years or more and give you that peace of mind that you're not going to have that big bill right after you buy a house.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a really good point. I mean, it'd be great if every first-time home buyer is buying new construction because then they don't have all that other stuff to worry about.
The only
for the
thing
most part.
they'd probably have to do is figure out backyard landscaping.
That's true.
Because most new homes come with just dirt in the backyard. Although we did negotiate a few over the years where we got the builder to put some landscaping in.
And we do help with new construction, in fact.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah. One of my favorite things is to help people with new construction. We can help you with any builder. So call us first and we can tell you where you can find these homes that make sense for you. 448-8888. We've got a great team of realtors, whether it's me or one of them. We keep Tego in the office mostly.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, he's our ops guy and our marketing guy. So.
Well, Sam's our marketing guy, but
yeah, well, as if you don't do any marketing.
we collaborate all day, every day.
Yes, you do.
Yes, we do. So Tracy, I want to talk about this retirement to New Mexico story.
Okay.
So what did you find? Let me frame this up. I always think of, or have for a long time said, and I believe it's true, is New Mexico is kind of a hidden gem in many ways. I don't think people think about it if they're in the East Coast, for example. They think about Florida, they think about Arizona, but New Mexico kind of gets forgotten. But anyway, this was kind of what the story was, right?
Yep, for reals. So it was on MSN or something, MSN.com, and somebody had done a lot of research, and a lot of their friends were moving to the Phoenix area from the Midwest and Northeast, getting out of winters. And this person did a lot of research, and I read the whole article, and they talked about crime, they talked about taxes, they talked about cost of living, and they realized that they ended up in Santa Fe, and it was not on their radar at all. And they're like, okay, 7,000 feet, you have an average of 44 degrees in January and an average of 86 degrees in the summer. And it cools off at night, and during the day in the winter, you get that sun, just like we do here in Albuquerque, and it warms everything up, and it feels warmer than an average of 44 because of the sun. And they realized that in the end, there wasn't a single statistic that brought them here. It was the combination of manageable weather, a tax structure that doesn't punish social security income, because some states you have to pay tax on your Social Security, a sense of place that felt earned rather than built overnight. They were talking about how, like they ended up in Santa Fe, and they're in this old culture, and there's so much richness there that they're just blown away. And they ended up saying, Arizona will always have its appeal, but this is where I'm going to spend my retirement, Yeah. And they were in Santa Fe. And she, I think it was she, was talking about some of the things that she hadn't thought of, the culture, the quickness from Santa Fe to like our airport in Albuquerque, or that healthcare actually she found good. Said, yeah, I might have to go to Phoenix sometime if I have a major problem. But in general, she said that the healthcare facilities in Santa Fe are great. And if she needs something that's specialized that she has to go to Albuquerque, it's an hour. So really good. So, and we know it, right? Think of the hiking, the skiing, the whitewater rafting, the fly fishing, like this weekend is Indian market.
Right.
I mean, what a beautiful thing. This weekend's going to be beautiful in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
So much culture and talent and artists and just
I
good things.
I think people many times are surprised at the diversity in our community, not just the people, but also the nature, right? And
yeah.
we're always highly ranked when you talk about, good communities for outdoor activities, because we have a good year-round climate. So, a lot of times we get compared to El Paso and Tucson markets, right? Similar size, but El Paso and Tucson are hot in the summer, right?
They are.
Okay, are they more pleasant in the winter? Yes, they are. But, I think our winters are great. Plus we can, get up in the mountains and play in the snow if we want to too.
Right. Anyway, it was interesting because, a lot of states have worked really hard for many, many, many years to be the retirement place, right? Arizona, Florida, California, they've touted it and they've advertised in all those colder climates for 60 years. So, of course, they're thought of, but people don't think of New Mexico. I drove through there once.
I know. We get a lot of that.
Or they ask about Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul or now Pluribus, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're known for.
Well, and that's fine too. Well, what did they say? They said Albuquerque, Sam, this is like ranked like number one for filmmakers. At least it was at one point. I don't know if it still is, because a lot of films being done here. Go ahead.
Oh, that was funny. We were talking about the area, the economic development
Yeah.
and all that, and how when like Facebook announced or Netflix announced how housing around those areas popped up and kind of the prices went up and all of a sudden they're building homes. I was thinking when we used to own a house in Mesa del Sol and we sold it like 2 weeks before Netflix announced.
I know.
Then prices went up like 100,000 after that. We missed the timing on that one.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All made sense for us at the time.
Interesting. Speaking of economic development, one of the projects or one of the companies coming in is a fusion company. And they've got like $1 billion. They're getting money from a lot of different things. I think some of it's government money. In fact, I think a good portion of it is. But they're going to be out at Mesa del Sol, speaking of growth, right? And they're going to be doing fusion, not fission, different thing. So don't freak out. And it's so that's that Mesa del Sol property is massive, and it is got a lot of opportunity for industry to come in as well. But it's also a there's homes there too, and that's continuing to grow.
So speaking of that, we talked about this on our podcast one other time, or maybe more than once, but west of Northern Meadows in Rio Rancho, so we're like almost the far northwest portion, the aerospace defense facility is being built. So it's out King Boulevard.
Castilian, is that how you pronounce it? I think that's it.
Castilian? I don't know.
But, well, it's 1,000 acres.
Yeah, think of the neighborhood impact and how that's going to grow, because they say that they're working on more housing because there will be high-paying jobs there. So if you're an investor in real estate, you might want to call us and think about investing in that sector, the northwest sector of Rio Rancho,
This
right?
is not investment advice.
No.
Kidding. Well, I mean, the thing is that project is full speed ahead.
Right, it's happening. It's not a proposed, right?
No. I talked to, what's his name? The Sandoval County manager, Wayne. Anyway.
Wayne Johnson?
Yeah. And that is moving forward. That project is moving forward. They're getting the roads put in. And so that's going to happen. That's going to be a huge facility.
Rocket Motor Facility, it says. Castilian Corporation, Project Ranger, they call it, 1,000-acre rocket motor manufacturing and testing facilities situated roughly 3 miles west of Northern Meadows Community on New Mexico land state property.
Yeah, so it was new. It was an interesting, and this is more kind of nerdy stuff, but it was interesting because it was Sandoval County and the state all working together to put this thing together. So that's great. It's great.
Cool.
That's the way it should be. Yeah.
It says this installation is intended to manufacture and test next generation hypersonic systems and solid rocket motors for defense applications.
Yeah.
That sounds very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have open houses. We have some new homes that we've listed for sale. We've got to talk about houses, Tego. Okay, can I start? Okay, I'll go first. Okay, well, 303 Spring Creek, really beautiful adobe built by Roybal. So for those in New Mexico that know that name, it's on a really special lot in the far northeast section of Sandia Heights. North Sandia Heights. It's actually the farthest northwest corner in Sandia Heights that you can get because it backs to National Forest on two sides right at that corner. It's a 3,900 square foot adobe with a 3-car garage. It's multi-level. The garage is on a lower level, and then the main floor with 2 bedrooms and kitchen, living, and amazing views. So if you want to see the best views, look at 303 Spring Creek. And then the primary bedroom is upstairs, and it has a Kiva fireplace and just phenomenal views, right? You can watch the tram, you can see downtown, you can see the foothills.
I wish I was more prepared because I would have pulled up photos, but yeah.
Oh, well, we can go to another property, and then you can come back to it because I want to talk about a different one, too, that has amazing views. Anyway, the one on 303 Spring Creek Place Northeast will be open Saturday. So check out our abq.re/OH website. Are you impressed? I remembered it. Or welcomehomeabq.com, and you can find 303 Spring Creek. And come see it at our open house this weekend on Saturday. It's a really special property. Right there, you can just hike the foothills and everything. Another one that we just listed for sale is at 3601 Calle Oveja, and it's in a little gated neighborhood at Montano and Coors, right behind Machuchi's and Albertsons and all of that strip mall kind of thing. So it backs to the Bosque and the river right there, and there's a gate out of their gated neighborhood, so you can go for walks in the Bosque or runs or whatever right from there. A 2-story, it's a 2-bedroom house with a 2-car garage, and it's just under 1,700 square feet, listed for $359,900. So that one's a really great property. Tego, do you have something to share? Or
I was going to go back to
share the
Spring Creek, but that's okay.
because I have 40 Sereno also.
Okay, go ahead.
In Corrales, it's $735,000. It's new on the market, like immediately as you're watching this, and it's also got phenomenal views. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage up high on the hill, kind of south end of Corrales, up on the hill. Really beautiful big windows. Tego and I were up there taking pictures a couple days ago, and it was like, wow, I just want to sit down here and enjoy the patio and the view. So that one's also available. A couple others that are new, just get on our abq.re/OH site and you'll find them all.
Awesome.
Lots more in the hopper.
Yeah, no, there is.
Fun stuff.
And yeah, I think there's some really good opportunities out there for home buyers for sure. And I know people are a little freaked out about interest rates, but there's if you need a house, you need a house. So
yeah, and you'd rather own it yourself than pay someone else's mortgage, right?
there is that for
and
sure.
be able to do with it what you please. Just don't paint the ceiling black, please. It's really hard to repaint.
It is.
Yeah, make it your own, but I wouldn't do that. Okay, what else?
That's it.
That's it already? Okay. Well, have a great weekend. Go to Indian Market. Go see our open houses. Call us if you want to see houses because, on your time, on your schedule is even better. We'd be happy to organize a tour for you. If you're thinking of selling your house, give us a call. We've got a great team and an amazing marketing package for our home sellers.
Take care.
Talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. We appreciate you. And please click subscribe. We'll keep you updated on what's going on with real estate in the Albuquerque area and New Mexico, and of course, across the entire country. Have a great one.